Hi, I'm Jolyn,
And I'm Kerri.
and we are the owners of the Little Red Mitten in St. Thomas, Ontario.
And see, you started. Now that's throwing me off.
You told
Okay,
me to start.
and we're also the indie dyers behind Leo and Roxy Yarn Co. We're on episode 4, and how's everybody holding up? I think we've gotten feedback. We're getting better. Or maybe those are just kind words.
People are just nice.
Yeah, but that's all right. We're still enjoying it, so here we go. Full show notes can be found on Ravelry under Little Red Mitten, and I think if you Google,
It's in the Little Red Mitten group.
right, in the
Yeah.
Little Red Mitten group, and each episode has its own thread. Yeah, and they're pretty detailed notes, so everything that we talk about. You can also follow both Leo and Roxy and Little Red Mitten on Instagram and Facebook. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. You haven't deleted those? Nope. Okay.
Haven't been anywhere near them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess, so episode 1, we had a bloopers reel.
Yes.
But now, to reel you guys in, we're putting it at the end of the episode. So make sure that you either just skip to the end or endure the whole episode to get to those bloopers, because they're usually pretty good.
Awkward.
They are awkward, and we've got sailor mouths, so.
Oh, did we put those on?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
I don't watch.
Yeah.
I can't.
they're funny.
I can't. I watched our first bloopers thing, but I haven't watched any of the episodes.
Oh, that first one, I was cry laughing for
It's so
many,
funny.
many times.
So funny.
Yeah. So, where to begin? So, Jolyn had a good idea about doing a question of the day, question of the podcast. So we found a site on the World Wide Web, and we printed off all the questions, and we've got them cut up in a jar. So every episode, we're going to pick one, and we obviously don't know what we're going to get. And so let's go. This should be fun.
This should be interesting. Yeah.
Now that's a lot of pressure, but
What 2 totally normal things become really weird if you do them back to back?
ooh, that's a hard question.
What 2 totally normal things become really weird if you do them back to back?
Having a shower,
With what?
like just having a shower and then having another shower.
No, it needs to be 2 things, not one thing doing it back to back.
Two total. Oh, well, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say what
2 totally normal things.
It's not specifying if they're 2 totally different things.
Here comes the blooper reel story.
So it could be having a shower and then having a shower.
I suppose. It could be. So I guess you have to name a second thing because you have to do 2.
Well, having a
I'm gonna
bath.
spit that out if I can. Having a bath and then a shower. That should be what you have said.
I know, I should have said that, because that's what our daughter does all the time. My youngest daughter does that all the time, and I kind of get it. Like, she's
sitting in
sitting
your
on
own
filth,
Filth. You gotta clean it
and
off.
then you have to have a shower. Okay. Having a bath and then having a shower, that's a little weird.
But we just justified it, so it's
Well-
not.
Okay, so what have you come up with?
I haven't come up
Smarty
with
pants.
What? Why did we get this one?
I don't know. It's
Where's
like
the
there's
cereal
100
soup?
questions there. One of the questions was is cereal soup. We'll leave that for another day.
Hopefully we'll pull that one eventually. What 2 totally normal things become really weird if you do them back to back?
That's really hard.
This is actually quite normal, but my brain went there.
Okay.
It's like cook food and then freeze it. People prep meals all the time, but you're like, I'm gonna cook all this food, and then no, I'm done. Right? It is weird.
That is a little bit weird.
We do it because we prep food and put it in the freezer, but it's like,
That's true.
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go through the work of cooking it, making it hot, to shove it in the freezer and not eat it. No.
What if you...
This is just gonna be all one blooper reel. What if?
So what if you put your clothes in the dryer and then you put them in the washer and then you wore them?
I don't know. Totally normal things become weird. Not if you do them backwards. If you do them back to back. Putting your clothes in the washer is normal. Putting them on afterwards is not. Two normal things.
Oh my god, now I'm crying. Well, that was ridiculous. I went off the rails.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cast-ons. Did you cast on anything this week?
No.
Oh, we should probably update where we are in our totals.
Oh yeah.
So last week I was at 14 whips and you were at 17 whips.
Yeah.
So we'll do some fancy math after this. Cast-ons.
I've cast on nothing.
I cannot say the same.
Where is it?
Okay, well I cast on a pair of socks, but they're secret and maybe
So did you cast on two things then?
I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
cast on two things.
So you're
So
not
this-
even. Never mind. We haven't done the math yet.
No. So yeah, the socks, I cast on socks, but I can't share them until maybe the end of August. So stay tuned for that. So I cast on a second rocket tee.
Oh, is that silk from
It's
forever
a silk,
ago?
yeah. So this silk, this is knit in KFI.
Oh my god.
Yeah, KFI Luxury Silk Sport.
She's telling
No.
you that all that information, but it's a discontinued yarn.
Yeah, we don't carry it here.
It's discontinued, I think, completely.
Yeah, totally discontinued. It's like a bluish gray. And there's a story behind this yarn, right? So Little Red Mitten carried it before I even started working here.
We didn't have the color you wanted.
Right. So I went to Toronto for a ball game. This is all pre-COVID. Went to Toronto for a ball game and I stopped in at the Purple Pearl on Queen East, and they had the color that I really wanted. So I bought it. This was, I think, 4 summers ago. So I'm a
Probably,
new,
yeah.
I'm a new knitter at this point. It was a Pearl Soho pattern that I wanted to, it was like a halter top.
Oh, yeah.
Really wanted to make this halter top. Cast it on. I'm a new knitter. New knitters can't knit on with silk. It was like knitting water. It was
Yeah,
was
it's so
not
slippery.
Yeah, it was so slippery. So I put it away. And then I cast on another t-shirt and the pattern was written very poorly, so I cast that out. Or I
Cast that out.
Cast that out. Frogged it.
Did we just do the same motion?
I frogged it. And then I cast on a Hohi t-shirt, and it languished for so long that I couldn't figure out where I was.
So the camera cut off and we don't know exactly where we were, but all right. So
You know, Hohi patterns, how they start on the back.
you didn't listen to me.
and then you work forward, and I didn't know where I was.
I love that you try to repeat it instead of just saying
Okay.
it's not even a Hohi pattern that you're working on.
Right. Anyways,
We're not leaving this in.
bottom line
This
is,
is not staying in. Me making fun of you. I can't do it.
bottom line is, It got ripped out. This is the 4th time I've used this yarn for the Rocket Tee Tanis fiber pattern. I love it. Zero math involved. Zero math. So, my pink striped Rocket Tee,
Yeah.
I made a size 44.
Yeah.
Last episode, I didn't think there was anything between 44 and 38. There is. It's a 41.
Quite a few numbers between.
Quite a few numbers. So, a few things I took into consideration. I went up a needle size. So I'm knitting this on a 4.
Because it's a sport weight.
It's a sport weight. So I figured, okay, that's going to add some. So I knit a 36, added that. It's silk, so it's going to stretch. I think it's going to be just fine. Thank you. I think it's going to be just fine. I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do what I do. Knit a swatch. Block it.
Don't just
Ask a friend.
wish and
Yeah.
hope. Yeah.
But that's how I roll. So that's that. That is my...
She's also ripped out a lot of sweaters, so that's how she rolls.
Yeah. But then once I know how to do it, then I'll knit like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this needle, this size. Go.
Yeah.
Go. I don't have any cast-ons, so that was cast-ons. I don't have
Yeah.
any new cast-ons. You have, I think we already said this, you have another one that you can't show, but...
Yes. Yeah, I have the socks that I can't show. Work in progress.
I brought my Parachutey by Stephen West.
That's
showed this
lovely.
in episode 1. It's a tank top.
And it doesn't have the binder rings anymore.
No, I sewed it together, and I sewed in some ends. Yeah, that's even sewed in. It just needs trimmed. Yeah,
Nice.
That's how I roll. So, yeah. So
I
this
love
is
it.
A scrappy.
It's like the Joseph's
Joseph's
amazing Technicolor raincoat. Or no.
Dream coat.
Raincoat. That's right.
His raincoat.
Okay.
Sorry, I actually love that musical. Anyway, Kerri doesn't like musicals. Let's have a sidetrack here,
Okay.
because it was actually very disappointing for me too. Find this information out.
Our friendship was almost perfect.
It was disturbing.
I'm not
you
gonna
don't
say
even
hate.
like Annie or
No.
like none of them.
No. That's what records are
I forget what
if you're
brought
gonna
it
sing,
up.
sing. If you're gonna act. Don't meld the two.
I forget what brought it up. I don't know if it was something. Oh, I think it was one of the newer. Was it guy with the glasses?
Willy Wonka.
No,
Harry Potter.
Elton John movie.
Oh, Elton John. Okay.
And there was the Elton John movie,
Right.
and there was the Freddie Mercury movie.
Yeah.
And the Elton John movie was more like a musical than like whatever. And I think that's what brought it up.
Right. And I actually liked it. And I've
Yeah.
watched it a couple of times now.
Yeah.
There are a couple of musicals that I like. For the most part, I don't like musicals.
Yeah. We watched Hamilton last night. It was awesome. It was awesome. Best musical because it was like hip hop, which is like just unheard of in musicals. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
History with hip hop was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, you don't like.
But I am trying to remove the blinders a bit, and I'm trying to give them a chance. So yeah, I really did like Rocket
Did
Man.
you like Grease?
Oh yeah, of course I liked Grease. That's really about it. I went and actually saw We Will Rock You in Toronto probably 15 years
What
ago.
about like Mamma Mia?
Oh,
Oh, this is so sad. Do you
No.
like ABBA?
I love their music, and they should keep it on vinyl. Or an 8-track.
See, we have to have a fight every episode.
Yeah,
Anyway, I don't know. How did we even bring up musicals?
I don't know.
Oh, his raincoat. Okay.
Oh yeah, right. Right, Joseph in his Technicolor raincoat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great musical, by the way. Anyway.
I love
Yeah.
this.
I love it. Scrappy.
It's beautiful.
It's fun. So flip it around. So last time I showed it, I was right here. So I've done about, I don't know, 16 ridges or so. And so I've got my little progress keeper, which I'll move it right now so that next time I show it,
Keep you honest.
we'll see how far I move.
Yeah.
So that's Hermione.
How do you manage your scraps?
So yeah, I brought my scraps to show you how I keep them and some of the stuff I do when I'm working on different scrappy projects. So I've got these big glass
Very portable
jars.
glass jars.
Yes, this is for at home. This is not for traveling. There's needles in there. There's different weights.
And there's full skeins.
So it works really well for my style of organization. Basically, if I finish a project, I can shove it in here, and then every once in a while you go through and you sort them. Like, so typically this is going to be fingering weight because that's what I'm going to do scrappy projects in. So it's going to have mini skeins, it's going to have leftovers from socks and leftovers from fingering weight projects. But I can see DK weight in here. I can see mohair in here.
It's an attach tag.
Pardon?
Oh, I was just looking what this was.
Oh.
Puritan.
Yeah, that's a mini skein that's in there. Yeah. There's a swatch in there, but I have, as you've all heard, many animals in my house, so I do need closed containers and for both dust and so that the cats don't steal my yarn. So I love this. It's like if I'm done with a project, I just shove it in, and then every once in a while I'll sort it and I will put the other weights somewhere else.
I have another one here too.
And then
so portable.
And then yeah, so I'll sort it by weight so I know what's going on, which I should do frequently because you can't trust my memory that long if they don't have tags and stuff with them.
Yeah, you could label the jars.
But then I'd have to put them in a certain jar when I'm done.
Right.
So they need to be sorted every once in a while. That's just how I work best.
Jolyn and I have very different organizing styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
We're
different.
the odd couple. It's like Felix and well, who's the other one?
I'm not going to know your references.
Okay. The odd couple. Felix and
I'd like to hear this. What is it a reference to?
It's a show, The Odd Couple.
I never know Kerri's references.
In the 70s, it was a show.
We haven't talked about our ages.
No.
We won't today.
No.
You'll notice it in our favorite musics, our favorite everything. It's great. But yeah, so other times when I don't want to reuse a colorway in a scrappy project more than once, or I want to break it up, like if I use this color in my scrappy blanket, I will take it and then start another jar and move it over, and then I know it's been used in that scrappy blanket, and either not use it again or use it again later on in the project. I have a lot of scraps. I have a huge stash and a lot of scraps. There are some things that are pretty much full skeins. This has something off of it, but it's close to a full skein. This one is definitely... That is a full skein. It's got needles in it.
Oh, look at that.
See? I was thinking about something. Actually, I know what this was. This was going to be a bralette.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's,
so
tits out.
That's tits out. That's what that's for too.
Yeah. Nice.
So it might become something that's not absolutely a scrappy project, but I figure anything under one skein is scrap. Meaning a skein or under is scrap, because you can't make a full sweater out of that. So it is what it is.
Go. So I'm not this organized, actually. My scrap system is search through all the baskets and everything that I have to find the scraps that I want, and then I shove them in a Ziploc bag. So that's where I'm at. I probably should get a little bit organized and get some Rubbermaid totes going and sort it by weight so that I don't have to spend so much time looking for stuff.
So when you're done a project, what do you do with your yarn?
It usually
Any
sits,
old project.
Yeah, it usually sits in the project bag for quite some time until I get motivated to clean up my sewing room, my hobby room. And then it just gets shoved into a basket. So literally there's all different kinds of weights. And the basket right now is just overflowing.
Like, and where is it sitting?
It's in my closet where I keep all my tools and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I become attached to scraps, and I find that's a problem, especially in other weights. Sock yarn, I feel like I can always do something with it. But in, you know, you made a bulky hat and you've got a little ball of this color of bulky, or, you know, a little bit of worsted weight in this and that. And those are the ones where I'm like, this is taking up space and I'm not quite sure what to do with it.
I'm thinking that maybe having like a wraps per inch tool by your container
to know what it is.
Because that's my biggest problem, is that I'll look at something and I know that it's not fingering weight, but is it?
Yeah, I tend to have a pretty good eye for what it was and a pretty good memory. Like, I'll look at something and I'll know.
Amazing memory
For yarn.
Yeah.
Other things, no.
Yeah.
But I can, I'll be like, oh no, that's DK by this company, whatever. Where I think Kerri can finish a project one day and pull up the scraps the next day and go, what is this? This is fingering weight, right?
Yeah.
Like, and not.
I have a memory like a sieve.
Yeah.
It's not
so
good.
even though you were just working on it, you might not remember what yarn it was.
Yeah.
So it's probably what it is. And depending what you're doing, what you want to do with your scraps, keeping track of what it is. So like I just said, I do have a good memory. So I know that this is Pepino by Richard DeVries. So it's fingering weight, but it doesn't have nylon. So I don't want to use this in socks. Right?
The yarn whisperer.
So I'll use this in my blanket, in my scrappy blanket. I'd use it in that sweater I was doing, but I don't want to use it in socks. So if I feel like I'm going to forget what these are, because it does not have a label with it, I should maybe put it somewhere else and mark it that it doesn't have nylon in it, and you probably don't want to use it for socks. And I'm sure some people do use it for socks, but I would just want to know. If I was going to use it for socks, I'd want to know, so I make it for the right person, and it has the right, care taken with it. So I pretty much know. Like, there's the odd thing that I probably got mini skeins. Like, I've done some fiber share stuff and swaps. So I've got some mini skeins that I don't know what company they came from.
Isn't there a way that
But I'm pretty sure these are 75-25.
Isn't there a way that you can take a little scrap and put them in, like, maybe not nail polish remover, alcohol maybe, or some type of substance, and
to
it'll
find out what?
Tell you? Like, if it melts, then it's got it. Oh, maybe it's bleach. Maybe you put a little piece of bleach.
If you put a little bit of bleach, the wool will completely disappear, but you'll see the nylon.
Okay. I knew I read that somewhere.
But I'm not going to do that.
No.
That's just
A, stinky.
Yeah, bleach sucks. And
B,
I don't care that much.
Okay, Rain Man.
Don't care that much.
So I am working on my granny stripe blanket. Where's my progress?
It's upside down. There you go.
Okay, so this is where I was on my little VW bus on our whip parade a few weeks ago. I haven't done a whole lot of it, but they're long runs.
Yeah.
With a micro crochet hook.
Micro crochet hook.
It's I'm using a 3.25.
Not micro.
Not micro, but whatever. Anyways, and then that leads to oh, my ears just popped. Did we change altitude? That leads me to a project that I frogged. So this is now my northeasterly blanket. That was the chevron blanket that I had started on a whim, and who needs a fifth blanket? You do. Yeah.
I've got 5 blankets cast on.
So I just magic balled this, and there's lots of tutorials out there on how to create a magic ball, but basically you've got the 2 strands and you lay them parallel, and one goes over and over and one goes under and under, and then you do them up tight, and then when you slide it, the knots slide together, and then you can clip it really close to the knot. How's that for a tutorial for you?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. So I will continue plugging away on this, and yeah, that's it.
That's it. So I have one other whip. I don't know. I don't know when I showed these, probably just the first week. So these are, I think this is my first self-striping. So I just did a 2-color with a speckle as the second color, of course, so why not? And it's not on Leo and Roxy base, it's just on a commercial base that I bought to dye around on.
Yeah.
It's quite scratchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was here when I
that's
picked
good.
this up this week. I finished the heel turn, made it down past the gusset.
Nice.
I'm in the plain knitting to the toe now. So we've had some questions about socks, so we're gonna talk about that after.
Oh, we can do it now. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, we had a question. We had a customer come into the store and who's been enjoying our podcast. She's the only one. And she said that she thought it might be a good idea to maybe do a little tutorial. We're not going to do that because we won't do that justice. Or
No.
maybe we will.
We'll
but in the
link
future.
some references below.
Yeah, ones that we like.
Yeah, some tutorials that we know and can get you off to a good start on knitting socks. But yeah, that
We can talk about what we like and what size needles do you use?
so I use a 2mm needle. So
So you don't tension your yarn.
I don't tension my yarn. And so yeah, I knit fairly loosely. So if you knit loose, you want a smaller needle to make up for it. So we get this question a lot. I want to knit socks for the first time. What size needle? And I'm always pretty clear. This is what we recommend to start with, but once you get going, your gauge may change and you may find that you need something else. So we usually start all our classes on 2.25mm needles. And that's a pretty good gauge, or a pretty good needle gauge for most people, working with fingering weight sock yarn held single. So you know, there's options of casting on and knitting a little tube in the round and doing an actual gauge swatch. I just say cast on a pair of socks and see where it goes. See where it goes.
You want to go get between 7 and 9 stitches an inch.
Yeah.
For the best wear.
So, and I find your gauge is going to change a little bit as you get used to knitting socks and the whatever method you're working with, right?
I found that because I used to knit on a 2 and I've gone to 2.25. And I'm not sure what changed there that I would actually go to a bigger needle.
Yeah.
You would think that I would relax more, but I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there, but I like it's easier on my hands, and my socks were pretty stiff.
Yeah.
And now they're floppier.
Yeah. To do top down or toe up.
The great sock debate.
Yeah. I do top down majority of the time.
Same.
I've done some toe up. I think it comes down to, I don't know what it comes down to. The way, for me, I think it's the way I was taught. So it's natural. It's in my head. I don't carry a sock pattern with me, like unless I'm doing an actual lace pattern or something. I don't have to look anything up. I know how many I want to cast on. I know how to do my heel. This is totally memorized.
Pretty much only do vanilla.
I have some socks to show later, but yes, I pretty much do vanilla. Socks are, what's the word I want?
Utilitarian.
Utilitarian for me.
Look at the big word on
Yeah.
Kerri.
They're practical. I just want to wear them. There are some patterns I've done, and there's some that I've done multiple times because they're easy to memorize, so it keeps the sock as a project that's really easy still and really portable and easy to memorize, and it doesn't bother me in my shoe.
Right.
So I don't want anything with too much texture, too much going on. I do plain or ribbed, but mostly plain. I like that I can just knit in the round and it's just the knit stitch. Because I do use socks for knitting in the dark. So a sock like this would come with me to the movie theater. Not that I've seen a movie theater in like 6 months, but I would like to be past the gusset and just in this plain part, or down the leg in the plain part. And I'll leave a sock at that point until the next time we go to the movies. So it's just ready for me to grab.
Or knitting in the car.
Knitting in the car at night. Yeah, just anywhere where I don't really have to look. So yeah, so in a typical movie, I can get like 2 to 3 inches of sock done. No other time sitting and knitting on a sock do I get that much done. I get bored of knitting something this fine.
What type of cast-on do you use?
I use long tail cast-on.
Really loose?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get mine loose enough. I have to do that German twisted.
Okay.
Yeah. Or else it cuts me off.
Sometimes I do. I don't know if any of the ones here. So this one I can tell I just have my normal number of stitches cast on. But sometimes I do a trick from Lucy Neatbee where she casts on an extra. So if you're doing a 2x2 rib, she casts on an extra stitch for each purl section.
Oh.
And then you do that for 2 or 3 rows, and then you purl those 2 together. It goes to 2x2 rib, and it just gives that extra fabric for around your calf there.
And are they actually flared when they're...
Not really. Like, it just kind of tends to flare just that little bit there, but because it's the pearls and it pulls in like that, when you're looking at it like that, you can't even tell. Yeah. I'm sure one of my pairs of socks I have to show after is done like that probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, then there's the different needle types. So mine that I'm showing here is cast on DPNs, double pointed needles. So they've got point on each end. I've got 4 on the project and my 5th one to work with.
And they come in wood and metal types.
Yep. The needles again are one of those things that I think you just have to practice and try stuff out with and see which ones you like. So all the needles we carry are guaranteed. Most needle companies guarantee their needles. So one of the things that we find is if somebody's snapping their needles, so if they have the wood ones, they're probably a slightly tighter knitter. And so we'll replace the snap needle, and then when they're in for the 3rd or 4th time, I'm like, you might want to try metal. Yeah. Because, if you're so tight that you're snapping needles, you might want to try a metal one.
You can also do magic loop.
I have both metal and wood. You can do magic loop. Some of my cast-on socks are on magic loop.
So tips and longer cord, or you can use a fixed.
Yeah, so you use the circular needle, usually about 40 inches long, and you just have your sock cast on. I wish I had one. We can show it another time. But you'd have your sock cast on there, and you just adjust your magic loop. We can link some magic loop tutorials below too, if you don't know what it is.
And what about heels? You're definitely a heel flap person.
I love my heel flap and turn. I've done other things in order to preserve like self-striping and for different reasons, but they're never my favorite to wear.
Yeah.
So I've done afterthought heels. I've done short row heels.
So this is an afterthought heel.
So I think like the afterthought heel is really cute. It gives that like commercial sock look where you get that, that pop of color.
Yeah. I know that I did an actual heel flap with self-striping. And
let me see what I got. Let me see what I got. I think I have a heel flap.
This is a heel flap with self-striping.
This is a heel flap with self-striping too. So did you use a different part of the ball, or did you just keep going? And
I think I just kept going because you can see this is like a 4-row stripe and a 4-row stripe, and this is 3 rows.
But that's because you're in your gusset there, so you have more stitches on the needles there, so you're going to get less yardage regardless what you did in your heel flap.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. I used where I was. So you can see I was in a mustard colored stripe, and starting in the heel flap, it starts with the mustard. So I just continued going with where I was, which throws off the sequence through here. I don't think you really notice it unless you're looking for it. No. Heather might notice it because it's her self-striping yarn. She's like, what's going on? But
I do.
But yeah, so the other trick you can do with self-striping is either pull from the other end of the ball when you start your heel flap, and then when you go back to pick up your gusset stitches, continue where you were.
Yeah.
The stripe will be a little bit thinner because you have more stitches on the needle at that point, but it will keep the sequence down the top of your foot. So you can do a different color heel flap. I do have one of those here. You can do a different color heel flap and gusset. It just doesn't give the same. It just doesn't give the same look. A lot of those are tubes too.
Yeah.
So this one I switched out and still did a heel flap and turn, but did it in a different color.
What yarn is this?
This is that Portuguese yarn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that ever nice?
So this is non superwash.
Rosa.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know.
We'll link to it.
Yeah.
It'll be in the show notes.
So yeah, you can switch out colors and then just go back. I love it.
And then toes. Sometimes you do that circular toe.
Yeah, I do.
I always do.
What's it called? Square toe?
A square toe.
That's what this one is. That's what this
one is.
So
I decrease every second row until I get to half of my stitches, and then I decrease every row until I get to 10 stitches. And
none of mine are like that right now.
Yeah, I just like it. It kind of matches. It does match. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. The heel and the toe.
So sometimes I'm not even sure, or is that a rounded toe? That's a rounded toe.
Is this a round toe? Or wedge. Is it a wedge?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of the shapes. It's either square, round, or wedge.
Sometimes I do like a circular decrease at the toe. So I started doing them years ago when my kids wanted to learn how to knit socks, and I didn't want to teach them how to do Kitchener stitch. So the same way you decrease on the top of your hat or the tip of your mittens where you decrease at your 4 points. So the same idea. I decrease at the 4 different points every other round until I get to half my stitches. Then I decrease every round. And then I draw the string through. The remaining, I go all the way down to like 4 stitches, draw the string through, tighten it up, weave in the ends really good. And you don't have to do Kitchener stitch, and it fits nice, and it's super, super easy. So I've obviously recently went back to doing the regular rounded toe. I think this is a rounded toe.
Oh my god, this is making me crazy. Me and my OCD. My box is all messed up now.
Okay. So so there are lots of different heel options, and there's different ones available if you're doing toe up or you're doing top down. We only named a couple heel options, but there are tons of heel options.
Laura Neal, Laraneel. She has a book called Sock Architecture, I believe, that I bought.
Oh, yeah.
And dozens and dozens of different heels.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I'm still experimenting with leg length.
Yeah.
I do like my shorties. I like my socks to peek out a little bit from my Blundstones. But I wear shorties all year round, even in the winter. So, my tummy's grumbling. So I did. This is a total mistake.
They're super long.
So unless you have like pencil legs.
Yeah, they're going to be slouchy because you're not going to get them all the way up your calves.
No. So I think I will chop these off and
put the cuff back on.
Yeah. Because these are not wearable. It might be okay for like a 12-year-old girl. Some 12-year-old girls, like
Yeah.
with really thin legs, like Sophie. These would be
Sophie.
great for Sophie. I should have given these to Sophie. Anyways, and it looks like we both keep our socks in IKEA boxes.
There you go. Yeah.
Sock drawer. Yeah,
Yeah. The drawer dividers from IKEA. They're great.
they
I
are.
already started pulling stuff out
So
of here.
satisfying to open your sock drawer and see all your socks. So that's our sock thing.
Yeah.
That's our sock. Talking
Yeah,
about
if you-
socks.
We'll put a couple links below so you can get some better information about
definitely.
actually getting started. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's just I said what I like. Do you typically do magic loop?
I typically do magic loop. I'll do the odd pair in DPNs just to keep my skills up.
Yeah.
And although the socks that I'm working on right now, I'm doing magic loop, but the first 5 stitches are pearls. Mm-hmm. So I got lazy and I stopped watching my tension when I came around the corner, and so I've got a tiny, like maybe 4 rows. I started developing a ladder.
Yeah.
But I got back on top of it, and I'll just rework those to get the tension correct. But
A basic tip for if you have ladders, whether it is on DPNs or magic loop, don't pull your first stitch as tight, pull your second stitch. So when you switch, whether so you just adjusted your magic loop and you start to knit again, knit one, knit the second one, pull it a little tighter, and then continue knitting.
okay.
So
That's a good tip.
same with your DPNs. Like, I'm ready to switch here.
yeah, because you will
So-
get a crease.
You knit one.
I think the first pair of socks that I ever knit, I had like hard creases down the.
So you were too tight.
I was way too tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So knit one and then pull the second stitch a little tighter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't typically need to do that. I just knit. But
You've also knit a bazillion pairs of socks. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do get ladders, don't pull the first stitch, pull the second stitch, and that should help.
Yeah. And if you're working, my big tip is if you're working with DPNs and you're watching TV and you just pull a needle, make sure it's your working needle.
Oh, I do that so often.
I did it just the other night.
Yeah.
I pulled my needle and I pulled one whole needle
Yeah.
off the stitches.
Yeah. So yeah, because you put them all away, all 5 together. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you go to grab the one that's supposed to be empty and you grab the wrong one.
Yep. It happens.
The other thing that's handy is a needle keeper of some
Yeah.
sort.
Definitely.
So this is a zigzag stitches one. It's just a little fabric keeper with some snaps. So I just shoved the DPNs in there. Your sock hangs out. When you put it in your project bag, you're not gonna,
Lose anything.
Not gonna lose
And you're not
anything.
gonna stab your project bag as well.
yeah. So those are handy.
Good. So that's about it for our socks. FOs, did you finish anything?
Nope.
No, didn't finish anything. I've got one thing that I finished. So I finally got the Breathe and Hope Casapinka shawl off the needles and blocked, and I couldn't be happier. I love it.
So soft.
Yeah, all that the slip versus color work debate from last week, it all blocked out. And I did the little naughty stitch on the end, on the bind off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super cute. This was done in Hedgehog
cute.
Fibers, Sorry, and Olin Fibers, Tangerine Dream. And I love it. I can hardly wait for, well,
I can wait for fall.
yeah, October with the jean jacket. I think it'll be
It's weird.
very
I don't
nice.
usually hold on to summer, but I kind of want summer this year.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why.
I also sew.
Oh yeah.
And so I brought that in. I don't know. I know this is a knitting podcast, but whatever. It goes off the rails multiple times every episode, so why not? So this is the estuary skirt by So Liberated. Watch the pins. So it's It's made out of a 60-40 linen cotton blend that I picked up at Fabricland. I went to start sewing on buttons, but I'm not. These were buttons that I bought for my Ohm shawl that got frogged forever ago. I got them from the wood lot at a fiber show. And I'm not liking it, so I'm gonna look for some different buttons. So I've just got pins where they're to be placed, but it's a great skirt. It's an elastic back.
They're not actually functioning buttons.
No,
though?
I did the faux placket, and in hindsight, I was gonna actually do buttonholes, but I didn't want to invest the time because I'm not crazy about the skirt. I don't know if it's my combination of. I think maybe I need a lighter weight material. I think the linen's too heavy for this skirt because I'm not super curvy. I'm pretty straight. So when I get this on, I feel really thick. So, but I do love the style. I will try it, but maybe in a linen viscose blend or something a little more flowy. But it's got these patch pockets on the front, and it's got inseam pockets as well. So lots of pockets, and that's it. So I think it's almost too heavy to even wear in the summer. I think it might be like a early fall, like a September type skirt. I think, anyways. Maybe not. I don't know. It just seems so bulky up here. That's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, it's pleated and.
So that's that. I've got a couple of other things cut out that I'd like to get to, but I'm not. I don't know. Lost my sewing mojo. Went pretty strong at the beginning of lockdown, like in the end of March, early April. I did quite a few linen tunics, and I did that forager, the So Liberated forager foraging vest.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what I've got there. And we should talk about future knits.
Oh yeah.
Future knits. So this is going to be a new segment for us. Future knits. Things that we really want to cast on. We really have no business casting on with all of our whips. But we'll probably do it anyways. But don't hold us to it.
Yeah.
Because it might not happen. So Cozy Up Knits. They're a group of 4 sisters, and they've got a podcast. They're from Grand Prairie, Alberta. They just published a simple hug cardie, and it's a DK weight held with a lace weight, so with a mohair or.
I haven't seen it yet.
So it reminds me kind of a boxy, but it's an open cardigan. But nice. It's meant to be a scrappy project. So I've already gone stash diving, and I think what I'm going to do is we picked this up from TNNA a couple of years ago, and it's a dyed-in-the-wool DK weight from Feederbrook Farm, East Coast, right? East Coast in the States. And it's like 5 or 6 colors, so that's one of each. And I'm not sure what to do about the mohair or the lace weight. I'm not even sure if I wanted to use mohair, if I just want to do lace weight. I was thinking about I just fell off the table. I was thinking of doing our Leo and Roxy mohair in this colorway is Dew, and it works with all of them, I think. And it might be just something a little different than our usual Meredith or Leo, the natural color. So I haven't decided yet. I was even thinking of maybe changing the mohairs in each section. So we'll see. So that's my future cast on. I'm also really pumped up about the new Andrea Mowry cardigan, the Spark cardigan, because that would be brilliant in our organic cotton, the Leo and Roxy organic cotton. So
I didn't come prepared with anything that I've been thinking about. I feel like things come and they go, and they come and they go. I really want to cast on a few different sweaters. I don't know that can you think of anything I've said? I kind of want to do the fingering weight weekender.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Weekender light.
Yeah.
I love my Weekender sweater, which is in worsted. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing the fingering weight one.
In the marled. You
In
want
the
to do
marled
yeah.
yarn, that would be great, yeah.
We released that marled yarn last week, and it's been very popular. It's lovely. One of our regulars brought these little bracelets in, and these are by, they're called Kairos, Kairos. I don't know if you can see those. They're by Laura Nelkin, and she sells these little kits on Etsy. But you can just buy the pattern, and and do them up with scraps and scrap beads that you might have.
Mini skeins.
Mini skeins, yeah, they're lovely. They're quick, I guess, and so thank you, Sandy.
They're so cute.
On Etsy, Laura Nelkin is Nelkin Designs on Etsy if you want to look at her kits. And then she's on Ravelry as well, Laura Nelkin. What else? We've got these new little tags in store.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen this in a sweater yet.
Yeah. So you know how you can't figure out the back and the front on your hand knit sweaters? We got these little tags in. I can't remember what it says. This is the back. Nope, not the front. Don't try. So they're just little leather tags. We've got them in store. Do we have them online?
I don't know, but we can get them up there.
We'll get them up there if they're not online. And yeah, not much to say about that. We get them from a local maker. You can find him on Instagram, BG Bosch. And we'll link to him in the show notes as well. What else?
What?
I have to tell you about my birds. I have to tell you about my birds. So on the channel, there's a bird video there from
Beginning of June or something like that?
Beginning
End
of
of
June?
May?
No, it would have been, because we didn't have Beatrice yet, so it would have been beginning or mid-May.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've had some changes from the last bird video. Our little Linnies, Pepper and Pickles, they ended up passing away. I explained that in the video. They were of ill health, and they were pretty old, and we just adopted them just to give them a pleasant little life for the last days. So it was weird. Pepper was in worse shape than Pickles, and Pepper passed away during the night. She probably had a little birdie stroke or something, I don't know. And then Pickles, her mate, he barely lasted 2.5 weeks. So I don't know if it was just a coincidence or he died of a broken heart, or I don't know. So anyways, they're both gone. They're both buried in our little backyard birdie graveyard. And we have gotten a new, I think we showed a picture of Beatrice, and we popped a picture in, but Beatrice is now with us, and she's about four. She's about 4 or 4.5 months. She's a Senegal, and she's just a sweetheart. She's my little Velcro bird. Since then, this all happened last week. Friends, co-worker of my husband's, her nephew, got a job out west and was leaving pretty quickly. And he had 3 birds, and our friend approached us to see if we would take in the birds. So, of course, we did. And so now those 3 make 11 birds, and it's a lot. I'll admit it. It's a lot of birds. So Alfie came to live with us. He is a fiery-shouldered, green-cheeked conure, and he's quite big. You haven't seen him yet, but he's almost the size of Beatrice.
That's what he looks like in the picture.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even think he was a conure in the picture. He looked different.
He's big. He is best buddies with a budgie named Roscoe, and Roscoe's blue. Roscoe doesn't have a lot of feathers on his face because Alfie preens him.
Oh,
and when
no.
a conure preens a budgie,
It's a little too rough.
it's a little too rough.
Aw.
But Roscoe seems to enjoy it. They actually even share a cage, which is just bizarre. During the day, Roscoe the budgie will hang out with our existing budgies, so he's living his best budgie life. The third bird is a cinnamon conure, and he or she, we're going to get him or her DNA'd. Groot. Groot's about the same size as Roxy and Piper. They're all settling in well, and it's a little chaotic that first morning when I was really late for work.
Yeah.
It's a little chaotic getting 9 birds, because the finches stay in the bird room, but getting 9 birds up and out of their cages and getting them fed breakfast and hanging out with them for a bit and being a responsible parent. It's a lot, but we're falling into a groove now with them. I think we need one more bird perch. Anyways.
At least you didn't say bird. You didn't end that at
No,
one more bird.
one more bird perch. I think, yeah, it's a lot. Oh, they're so messy. So messy. Anyway, so I did a short video this morning, and that'll be posted on our channel as well.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's so loud.
crazy.
It's so loud.
Yeah.
And Charlie, our female budgie, she is so loud because we moved the budgies into the living room.
Yeah.
They were always they just stayed in the bird room. And we often thought, what is going on with the budgies? Why are they making so much noise? It's not they making so much noise. It's Charlie. She sits on her little swing, and there's little mirrors on her swing, and she chats away to herself and talk. You can't watch TV. Like, we've got the TV up to 30 now to drown out the birds. It's yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with the budgies. They might have to go back to the bird room, but
Yeah. It's a lot.
yeah, it is a lot.
That's
but
a lot.
They're
I
sweet.
want my house is loud, but bird noise isn't as bad as my house.
Yeah.
No, I've been busy this week. I had my nephews and my niece down for a week.
They're such good kids
Yeah, they are. They
and
are.
really good labor.
Yeah, we had them helping out with
Yeah.
some Leo and Roxy stuff, and we usually would do a couple things while they're down, but it's COVID, so there wasn't much to do. Luckily, we live in the country and can hang out outside a little bit. And we went to the beach. We went to Port Glasgow for the first time.
Oh, when did you do that? On Saturday?
Saturday evening, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a cute beach. It's rocky, so if you like having like sand between your toes, it's not quite.
Port
as
Glasgow
sand-
is on Erie.
It's on Lake Erie in
Yeah.
Elgin County, so really it's just as far from us. Port Stanley's a little bit closer, but the kids were like, let's go to Port Stanley. I'm like, it's Saturday. Everybody's at Port Stanley, and I don't really want to be there. So yeah, we went down to Port Glasgow, and so there's the beach, and then it's grass.
That's
so you
right.
lay your blanket down on
Yeah.
grass, and you're not all covered in sand. And there's fire pits, and there's picnic tables. It's small, but it was good. The kids went swimming. I sat in the grass. I brought my bathing suit. I thought I'd go swimming, and then I remembered that Lake Erie is not the ocean, and I really had no desire to go
Yeah.
in it. I'm not. Kerri's not a big swimmer. She doesn't like to swim.
No.
I'm not a big swimmer either. I love the ocean, and I will hang out in salt water because it's salt water and because of the way it makes me feel. But yeah, so put my bathing suit on and everything, and I went, it's not hot anymore. It was, 6:30. It was perfectly hot. It was 20.
I was going to say it wasn't
like
hot.
26 degrees or whatever, but it wasn't, the humidity was broken, and it wasn't, I wasn't overheated or anything, so there was no real draw for me to get into the lake.
No. Dawn from Codependent Knitters.
Oh, see, if I went out on a boat out to the nice clear water like that, I probably would hop in an inner tube or something like that, maybe.
She posted a picture on Instagram of her floating in just off of Canatera.
I don't know that area very well.
Yeah.
It's Lake Huron though, right?
It's Lake Huron, that blue water. It gave me raging anxiety.
What?
I said that I posted on her picture about the anxiety. It just brought anxiety. Like uncontrolled water.
Oh.
Negative. You won't find me in uncontrolled water.
You're the type that thinks a shark's going to get you even though it's the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Or even a northern lake where there's like no...
I said that too. I put a little emoticon of a shark and an octopus. Yeah. No. I know. It's irrational, but it's me.
Yeah. So we went to the beach.
That's nice.
Hung out at home. Yeah. So it was busy.
Mm-hmm. Port Glasgow has a really nice marina as well. Mm-hmm. It's a little marina, but
yeah, it does. It's called the Marina and Yacht Club.
That's overselling it.
I don't know what classifies a yacht, but it might be too much Hollywood for me. What I picture as a yacht, I guess. But yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, we've often gone out there, and Mark's always, his dream is to have a boat. Mm-hmm. Not that I really enjoy going out on the water in a boat, but I would love it as like a floating cottage. And we thought, instead of the craziness at the craziness at Port Stanley, I'm pointing this way. The craziness at Port Stanley.
Port Stanley's back that way.
I'd much rather go to Port Glasgow West.
Same lake.
So, yeah. So that's about it.
40 kilometers apart.
Yeah. So I think I've kind of lost place with our tallies, but they'll be posted as well.
Oh, I can do it.
Okay.
So Kerri had 14 whips. She cast on 2, so she was up to 16. She frogged 1.
Yep.
So 15.
And I had the Breathe and Hope as a finished object.
And you had the Breathe and Hope as a finished object. So
that takes me right down. Back to
14.
Okay.
So...
And you're at the exact same.
I'm at the same. I didn't finish anything or cast anything on, so a little bit boring, but...
So stay tuned.
Yeah. The other thing I've been doing is I've been decluttering. I've been like cleaning and decluttering and packing stuff up and that. So yeah, my knitting time has been...
Wow. That's a big job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Are the, like, Value Village and Goodwill, are they taking stuff
They're
now?
taking some stuff. I haven't actually been. Michael's taken some stuff. I just have stuff piled up in the garage and in the back seat, in the trunk and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they're taking some stuff. I know they wouldn't take the chair that we were.
Oh, really?
They weren't taking furniture. So I think they're taking like clothes. But that was Goodwill here in St. Thomas. I don't know what Value Village and our Salvation Army hasn't even opened.
No, that's right.
They're taking nothing. They're not open. So I'm just going to keep piling it up. If I can get it out, I would like it out. But if not, I'll just wait until places are taking things. I've got all sorts of stuff. Some stuff I'm going to call some friends and see if they want it. Like I have some mason jars that I know a few people who do a lot of canning and stuff will probably want. But yeah, I've got clothes and household things. And then some stuff's been like recycling, garbage, burn pile stuff. Just like, above my washer and dryer and pulling things out. And it's like cleaning stuff that's like this. So combine them and then get that recycling out. And just different little things like that where I've moved quite a few things and been able to clean some stuff up with just, pulling stuff out and seeing what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So, Well, this was lengthy. Lengthier than what we usually do, but thank you very much for joining us. Yeah. And I guess we'll...
I know one more thing.
Oh, okay.
I think I would like to know
Oh, there we go.
in the comments below
Yeah.
what two totally normal things become really weird if you do them back to back.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, because that was a harder one.
That was harder.
expected,
Harder, yeah.
So,
And you can't use my dry your clothes, wash your clothes, and then put them on, because that's idiotic. That's just ridiculous. I'm
or
an idiot.
shower.
It does not say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say two different things. It just says two normal things.
Anything's weird if you do it like back to back.
That's true.
It's like go get
Like
the mail and then go check it again.
Okay. So you're just implying that they're different. That's fine. Okay. All right. Well,
That
thank
was
you
fun.
again. Thank you again for watching and sticking with us.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you'd like to.
We're not going to force you.
We're not good. We'll never force you. Anyways, thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys. So it could be having a shower and then having a shower.
I suppose. It could be. So I guess you have to name a second thing because you have to do two.
Well, having a
I'm going to
bath.
spit that out of my computer. Having a bath and then a shower. That should be what you have said.
I know. I should have said that.
People prep meals all the time, but you're like, I'm going to cook all this food. And then, no, I'm done.
What if you put your clothes in the dryer and then you put them in the washer and then you wore them?
Totally normal things become weird. Not if you do them backwards. If you do them back to back.